But it isn't there.
1, 2.
Welcome to another episode of Blanky Time. I'm your host, Stone Kiker, and with me today is...
My name is Matt.
What's up, buddy? That was great.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Welcome to the chillest, most exciting, most exuberant podcast imaginable.
I love your grammar. We're actually putting out a dictionary called the Blanky Time Dictionary.
Blanky Time.
It's going to unlock your grammar.
Yeah,
take it to another level.
Because, listen, okay, English is a social construct.
That was a great Donald Trump impression.
I'm not doing a Donald Trump impression.
English.
The thing is that the right term? Social contract?
I mean,
construct?
Explain what you mean.
So basically, English, right? People started saying things a certain way, and it got trendy, and people started copying that, and then that became the standard.
Are you talking about...
The lingo became homogenized amongst the people, and then that became a socially accepted thing that is used in proper English.
Are
right?
you just upset that you don't have any Riz?
No, I have W Riz. I got married basically... Well, I got married after I graduated high school.
I was about to say, I feel like you were out of high school then. It was the same year.
I was
though,
engaged technically before I graduated.
I mean, it happens, man.
So that's what you call
Don't awaken love.
W Riz.
Until, I don't know what the quote is, but
yeah, what I'm saying about English, right, is
right.
People say you can't use made up, quote unquote made up words.
Sure you can.
But all words are made up. All right, just like y'all is actually a proper term. For whatever reason, some English teachers get in a tizzy about using really y'all in papers.
I mean, Hebrew, most of the time it's you is translated you, but it actually means y'all.
Or yuns.
Yuns?
Yuns.
Yuns?
Yuns better stop sacrificing babies and straighten up.
Yeehaw.
That's what God was saying to the Israelites.
Wow. I love that impression. Does God have a southern twang?
He's got all the twangs.
Yeah. I guess he created language.
Mark Twain.
Mark Twain. Well, dude, I'm excited for today's episode.
And what is today's episode's topic, Matt?
2 truths and a lie.
2 truths and a lie.
Story edition.
How many truths?
2 truths.
How many lies?
1 lie.
1 lie's epic.
Yeah, I'm stoked. It should be fun because I feel like we know a good bit about each other. So,
do we?
I mean, I hope so. I learned a lot in the last episode.
Yeah, that's true.
So it'll be interesting.
I learned that you worked at Pizza Hut.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
Well, I hope that you haven't already heard these stories about me. So I feel like I told you them before. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm one of these I think I've told you.
Yeah.
But you could have forgotten.
Yeah.
I don't know how good your memory is.
The older I get, not so good, not so hot, man. So how's today going to work? Walk me through what we're going to do.
So we are going to tell each other the title, come up with a quick, snappy, fun title of each story.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to prejudge and say which one we think is going to be the lie, because that's what we're just trying to find the lie.
Right. Yeah.
And then we tell the stories, and then we come up with the final decision if we had good intuition or if we had bad intuition. So, what are your titles?
I want you to go first.
Okay, I will go first.
Well, should we both? Are you going to give your titles, and then I'll give my titles? We'll prejudge, and then you'll start with your stories, and then I'll tell my stories.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
Then I'll go. Yeah, you go first.
So, a stone moment setting up an appointment. Self-exploding at the point. An unfortunate event with a cat.
What was the first one?
Oh, I already forgot. A stone moment setting up an appointment.
The second one.
Self-exploding at the point.
And what was the third one?
An unfortunate, an what the
An unfortunate
an unfortunate how am I
event with a cat.
an unfortunate event with a cat.
I'm leaning towards the first or the last one. Stone moment making an appointment or an unfortunate event with a cat. I think one of those two is the lie, but I could be off. And
Okay.
once we hear the stories, maybe it'll jog my memory. All right,
What are yours?
mine. I didn't have coffee until I was 18. I spent half a day in a Botswanan jail. Or I've been held at gunpoint by the police. One of these is a lie, and two of them are 100% true.
It's either the first or the second one.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the third one's real.
All right. Hey, really? I don't think so.
I mean, it's just a likely thing to happen.
I mean, they're all very likely, and they're all very close to the
Yeah,
truth.
but you've gone to Guatland like 1,000 times, so
Guatland is not Botswana.
Botswana. This is gonna really expose my geography prowess.
Botswana is in
Which
southern
Ohio,
Africa.
Africa.
It's under. It's like in between Zambia and South Africa.
South Africa.
We'll get into the stories. So anyway, I didn't have coffee till I was 18. I smuggled myself into a Botswanan country and spent half a day in jail. I've been held at gunpoint by the police.
Yeah, it's either the first or second one.
Okay. We'll see.
All right, but let us begin.
Yeah, kick us off with your first story, a stone moment.
A stone moment setting up an appointment. Okay, so this was somewhat recently, maybe a couple months ago. I was setting up a ortho appointment because I have a ganglion cyst in my leg, and we were getting it checked out and everything, and seeing what we needed to do with that. So I had to set up an appointment with the orthopedist so that I could check her out and see what's going on with it. And I was on the phone with this lady, and I was talking through everything, answering her questions and stuff. And they ask you your name and how you spell it because they got to put you in the system, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, Stone, like The Rock, Stone. And then I was like, Kiker, Kiker. And for whatever reason, like over the phone, people mishear Kiker all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes they think I'm saying like an H or whatever. And I was like, no, K as in crab.
Not Krusty Krab, bro.
And she goes, that's a C. And I go, oh, I was thinking of the Krusty Krab. My bad.
Dude. Oh my god.
Over the phone.
Oh.
Setting up a freaking doctor's appointment. And I go, 100% confident. K as in crab, buddy.
Dude, I love that.
And yeah, the lady, you could just tell, was like, what the frick is
What's wrong with this generation?
this dude?
SpongeBob did melt a lot of brains.
Yeah, the Krusty Krab stuck.
That's hilarious.
Also, imitation crab meat is spelled with a K. So most of the time when you see it in the store, it's spelled with a K.
So next time, just be like
Imitation
K,
crab
like imitation crab. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that sounds semi-believable.
Yeah. All right.
But all good lies have a little bit of truth in them. So.
This is true. This is the truest truth of these two truths and lies. All right. Next story. Self-imploding at the point. Exploding. Imploding. Exploding. I think it was exploding because
Okay.
imploding is, like black hole style.
Okay. Okay.
So basically, this is back in '07, '06, '08, somewhere around there. I was a youngin'. I was about 7, 6, 8 years old. Okay?
Okay.
Because I was born in 2000, but it's easy to keep up with. Um,
Yeah. I was
my,
born in '90, so
yeah,
I get it.
my dad, before the recession hit, had started a business with a buddy of his, and it was a driving mobile ads company. So basically, they had these big box trucks, and on the back of them, the box bed was clear, and it had these rotating ads that would cycle through, and you would basically pay for spots on the ads, and dudes would just drive around in the trucks and get advertised to people at on the road or whatever. And so they also did like events, like you could hire them out, and they had segways with shields, and they'd put the ads on the shields, and you would just like zip around and do
Wow.
fun stuff.
I remember when Segways were a thing.
Yeah, the guy that invented the Segway died on a Segway driving off a cliff.
Really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it's tough luck.
Dang, is that recent or is that an old news? Because I was just having a conversation about him the other day.
Oldish news. New enough that Segways were around.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
So anyways, because of the nature of this business, my dad had to go on a lot of business meetings with people.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, he always liked to have one of us go with him. Like
Okay.
either my sister or me or both of us would go to these different like dinner meetings and stuff like that. And so we went to the Point, which is not the Point anymore. It's now Lone Riders.
Oh, 5 points.
Yeah, and Five Points.
Yeah.
And so there, this my dad's meeting this guy for the first time, giving him the whole business speech and everything, and I was sort of just, to sit over on the other side of the table and kind of be quiet and just doodle on stuff. And they at the time, they still have good pizza, but at the time they had banger pizza. Like it's probably the best pizza in Raleigh because it was fire brick oven pizza, and you could get like a made to order pizza. And so my made to order pizza was a white pie with Alfredo sauce, shrimp, artichoke hearts, and mozzarella, and just caked up on there. And the cheese was so gooey.
Yeah.
Like so much cheese. It was amazing. But because I was a freaking 8-year-old, when the food came out, I was chowing down, and
You were eating artichoke hearts and shrimp on a pizza at 8 years old?
yeah, dude, I had taste.
You had something. That's- Yikes.
I mean, yeah, I've liked a lot of interesting stuff since I was a kid. I wasn't a chicken fingers and fries kid
Okay.
for the most part.
Oh, well, I was.
As we know,
Still
you
am.
still are a chicken fingers and fries
Yeah,
kid.
buddy.
Which chicken and fingers and fries are good. I ain't bashing it.
Nice.
Bo Chicken Supremes.
Mm.
It hit good.
Very
Anyways,
good.
I'm sitting over there on the other side of the table because it's a big round table, so they kind of sat closer, and I was on the other side, and start eating, and I start to choke on the cheese because it's hot and gooey, and it's like starting to clog up my throat, and so I'm like starting to choke and cough, and I feel so bad about this. I still feel terrible about this. I start choking and coughing, and I basically like half throw up onto my pizza and my plate. And as I start to throw up, the stomach acid runs through my nose, and I get a nosebleed at the same time because I have it's a genetic thing in my family. We have like our capillaries, I think that's the right word, and our nose are really close to the surface. So we get bloody noses super easy.
Okay.
I've had both nostrils cauterized twice, and this one's my right nostril still gives me issues. My
Dang.
left used to be my worst, and now it's my right. Anyways, both my schnoz holes starts pouring blood. So I'm like holding my face. I just threw up. My dad's freaking trying to talk to this dude. And then he's like, dang, I got to take my son in the bathroom. So I go in there and I'm like getting cleaned up. And then I end up like sitting in the bathroom for like 45 minutes trying to get my nose to stop bleeding.
Wow.
And Dad came back and like checked on me at one point, and then I eventually went back out, and I think they made me a new pizza because they hooked me up for that. But yeah, I basically literally exploded.
That's terrible.
It only could have got worse if I like had
Grabbed
explosive
yourself
diarrhea at the same time.
Yeah.
And
Gosh.
pissed myself.
I feel like you would have died in that case.
Yeah, I
just
just self-nuked.
Yeah, jeez. All right. Okay.
So, yeah.
We'll see. We will see.
And then the final story.
Ooh, okay.
So this is also from when I was a kid. I would say probably like 10 or 12 at the time. And where we were living at Horseshoe Farm Park is where I used to live. So you can't find me anymore. I'm not there.
Right.
Horseshoe Farm Park, great park. Go check it out. It's technically a nature preserve. It's connected to the Greenway. You can ride that bad boy all over the place.
All the way.
Anywho, before they developed it and completely nuked the left side of the road, it was just a single dirt road back there and tons of woods. And so when I was a kid, I went out in the woods all the time and like played and did all sorts of stuff. But one thing I'd do is I would like make cabins out there because, as a 10, 12-year-old, I had access to like axes and saws and stuff. And so I would like cut down like small dead pine trees or living. I don't think I cut a lot of living ones. But I would make, like little cabins and stuff like that and whatnot while I was like working back in the woods. And we had this cat that was this big orange cat. Forgot his name. But he would follow me out in the woods and like keep me company while I was building these cabins and stuff. And so I was out in the woods building cabins and stuff, and as things go, nature calls. And nature was calling real hard. So I found a good tree, and I leaned up against it, and I started doing nature's
Right.
course.
Of course.
And midway through dropping the load, the cat ran underneath me, and the turd
Bro.
landed on its head and stuck to it.
Oh my
It was running around in circles and like trying to shake it off. And so I was like sitting there leaned up against the tree pooping and laughing at the cat.
Bro, you took a dump on your cat's head.
Yeah.
That is the worst.
And this freaking, oh my God. I don't know. I guess the cat eventually shook it off, and somehow I didn't pet the cat for a while after that. But yeah, and then I didn't really. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into the details after that. But yeah, the dumb, stupid cat just had bad timing or the best timing, depending on how you look at it. And
wow,
you got a sticky bomb on him.
okay, interesting stories. Interesting.
But which one's the lie? Alrighty, Matt. Now is your time.
It is my time.
Tell me your stories. This is gonna be difficult. I can already tell. This is gonna be hard.
I mean, yours are not easy, you know? You do such a great job of storytelling. I don't know if I'm as good of a storyteller, so
Okay.
hopefully I'll just butcher all of these.
Matt the Butcher. He's Matt the Knife.
All right, so number one, my first story is I did not have coffee until I was 18. So let me set the scene for you. Before I was the owner of multiple coffee companies and running several others, I was a little boy. 18. Not that little, but it was a long time ago. And, coffee just was not my thing. I was really into soda. I drank a lot of Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
More than I should have.
Yeah, you would drink, what, a 2-liter every day?
At least. Sometimes more.
That is still mind-boggling.
Yeah. It's terrible, man. I would go to, Chili's and go through,
baby back ribs.
barbecue sauce.
How many times?
This is like the second or third
Are we
episode
gonna talk
we've
about
referenced
Chili's?
Chili's, if you want to throw me some
baby back
free
ribs.
food, let me know.
Throw baby back ribs at us.
Yeah.
All right, so you're 18. You've never
I'm 18.
drank coffee, but you've had
Never had coffee.
oodles and oodles
I
of
drank a lot of
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. I was also the captain of the football team, believe it or
Really?
not.
Oh, yeah.
And I was out with the guys
The fellas.
one night.
Bros.
We were doing our thing. I was a senior in high school. And spent some time hanging out. We had just seen a movie up in Wake Forest at the theater there. And
Yeah, Marquee.
yeah, we were spending some time. I think we went and saw The Bourne Legacy.
That's a good one.
It wasn't that good. Jeremy Renner was.
You don't like
It
the
was like-
Jason Bourne series?
I like Jason Bourne, but this one was like the other guy. It was
Oh.
like the same. Yeah. Regardless, that's.
I don't remember that
moot
one.
point. But yeah, we had just seen a movie, The Bourne Legacy. I fell asleep halfway through it. We're walking around afterwards, and we go by Starbucks, and
Conveniently located across the street.
yeah, and I was with my buddy Hunter, and he basically was like ordering coffee for the team, and he was like, "Yo, you want anything?" And I was like, "Nah, bro, I don't drink coffee. I've just never had a taste for it."
Why were you against it?
I never had it. Memories, my recollection of coffee was Folgers in the morning that my grandmother would make, and so
The best part.
my parents didn't drink it. Like it was just very.
Waking up.
I don't even think maybe mom had
Did
a
your
coffee
grandma
pot,
just
but-
make it like too thin?
No, it was like I just
Like
that.
understeeped?
I don't know. I never tried it.
Oh.
I never tried it. I just remember the smell every morning waking up and just being,
The best part. of
captivated by the
waking
smell,
up.
but I would never try it. It was just like dirty and black and smelled really strong, and I thought it would give me the runs. And so anyway, we were at Starbucks, and Hunter's like, "You want anything?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. I'll take." Finally he convinced me to get something. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was something frozen, which shouldn't even count.
The
But,
vanilla bean thing that
it wasn't
Starbucks used to have.
Yeah, it
was
wasn't a
good.
vanilla bean though.
Yeah.
I remember that. It had mocha in it. But that was the first time I'd ever had coffee, and literally from that moment at 18 years old, having that cup of coffee, which wasn't even really coffee, if you think about it, it was frozen. Frozen coffee doesn't count.
Starbucks.
And it was Starbucks. Changed the trajectory of my life because it was not quite 12 years later that I bought a coffee company after 5+ years of running other people's coffee companies. And now I have 2 coffee companies. So you could say it was a huge inflection point at 18 years old. Yeah.
Or was it?
Or was it? All right. Story number 2.
Número dos.
Let me set the scene for you. The year,
Bosnia? What is it?
not Bosnia.
What'd you say?
So the first story is 2008 is the year. This story, 2015. 2015, I signed up to go on a trip with a group of people that I did not know
As
to
one does.
the country of Zambia.
Zambia.
Zambia in Africa.
That's right. Africa.
And I went with who is now my sister-in-law. She was with me. And we took a trip to Zambia together. It was a 2-week trip with people she knew, but I did not know. It was part of a church thing. And so
Which church?
Highland, I think. Highland Baptist. It's like, yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
It's off of Rand, if you're curious.
Rand.
Rand Road.
Rand over
oh
there.
no, not Rand. Crowder, something like that. It's back off of Rand somewhere. Anyway, it's beside the point. We went to Zambia. We didn't know each other super well. Me and Caroline. We had known each other for a few months up to that point. I don't know how it ended up where she invited me to go to Africa with her, but we went. So we're in Zambia. We stayed in Zambia we had been in Zambia for like 8 or 9 days at this point. And we got up early one morning, got a taxi, and drove all the way to the Botswanan border, it was like a 2-hour drive. I think we left at like 5 in the morning. Traffic is literally insane in Zambia. It's like a 2-lane road, but it was crazy. It was like something out of a movie. Like I've never experienced something like it. People. It was like literally 8 lanes worth of people, mopeds, and they had like these like almost like Volkswagen buses that were the taxis. Anyway, we got a taxi.
Tuk-tuks?
There was tuk-tuks too. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's more in Guatemala though. I feel like
Yeah.
I saw more tuk-tuks in Guatemala. But anyway, we drove. It was like a 2-hour drive to the Botswanan border, but we went through this checkpoint. Well, that doesn't matter. It's not part of the story. So anyway, we drove all the way. We passed this checkpoint. We got held up for like a half hour trying to talk to someone. Our cab driver's tag was out or something, so we almost didn't make it in time. But we go to this waterfront, and as we're approaching for about 5 miles, there are like 18-wheelers parked on the side of the road, and people camped out for literally 5 miles worth of 18-wheelers parked on the side of the road. And the reason is this is the only way to travel from like Zambia or like other African countries down through Botswana and into South America or South Africa. So these truckers were like taking loads from other countries going through Botswana and all the way down into South Africa. So they're camped out. So like I remember passing these crazy trucks, and it was super bizarre. And basically the trucks were waiting because there was a giant river. There was no road to get in.
It got washed over?
Well, no, there was just no road to get into Botswana. The only way you could get over was by crossing the river, which was this. I mean, it was probably. God, I mean, it was a very wide river.
And
I don't even know.
Tractor trailers are going over it?
Tractor trailers are going over. So
Dang.
there's one ferry.
All terrain.
There's one ferry taking one truck at a time.
Holy shnikes.
So they're camped out for weeks trying to get across.
How do y'all get across?
Exactly. Which is why we spent half a day in jail. So we drive past all the 18-wheelers. And there's like a port down there, so people, the road is still good. So we drove past all the 18-wheelers. We get down to the port, and there's like, customs is there for people that are coming across and all this other stuff. But you had to be in line. You had to have like your paperwork in order to get across the ferry on your truck. There's no people. There's not a people ferry or anything. People actually that would try to like sneak into Botswana and Namibia would actually try and cross the river, like swim across, and it's full of crocs.
Rough.
Full of crocs.
Oh, they'd get chomped.
Yeah, there are crocs everywhere. So people die like every month. More and more people were dying.
Hungry Hippos Crocodile Edition.
That's not part of this story, but there were definitely hippos in Botswana when we there were so many animals. I saw
Hippos are scary.
more wild animals in Botswana than I've ever seen at the zoo or in person. I mean, it was very bizarre. But anyway, so we get to the port, and the ferry is taking the trucks, and a ferry has just come back. So it was me, Caroline, and then I think there was 3 other people, a husband and wife, and then one other lady. So David was the guy that was leading the trip. We sneak onto the ferry
How?
behind the 18-wheeler,
In the
right?
car?
No, 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 no. We parked. We're on foot. Like, yeah, there wasn't room for the car. There's no way we could even get on there.
Then how? What was the plan for when you got across?
Well, I mean, once everything pulls off, we were just gonna walk across. I mean, people were kind of chill there anyway. So like, I mean, Africans do whatever they want to do anyway. But we're like 5 white people,
Yeah.
you know. We'd already been called Mzungu a few times, and so anyway, we get on behind the 18-wheeler. We end up crossing the river. It takes us like, I mean, it's a ferry, so it doesn't take a ton of time, but 10, 15 minutes. We finally cross, and we walk off with the truck. And from there was a customs booth, and there was some other stuff. The trucker would have to go like fill out paperwork and stuff like that. Well, we decided we were just gonna go about our business, and we had a taxi that was waiting for us that we were gonna take to the safari that we had booked. The safari was like further into Botswana, and we were already running late because we got held up at the that checkpoint on the way in because our cab driver's tag was out or whatever. So
Nice.
so we were already running late. So we like walk past customs, almost to our taxi. Literally, like the taxi's up ahead, and we get stopped by Botswanan authorities. And they had like a little cell on site, so it wasn't like a jail, but they had a cell there at the place, and they locked all 5 of us up until David, the guy who ran the trip, could talk us out of it after several hours. And we missed the safari, and we had to do it the next day. And it was.
Did you cross over the river again?
We did not. No, we came back the way that tourists are supposed to go, which is there's like an actual ticket you pay and cross. So that was a fun experience. It's definitely one of the highlights of the Africa trip for sure, to be able to say that, but it was fun.
Well, how did he talk y'all out of it? Like, what was his reason?
I mean, he just told him, he's like, I'm sorry, we were running late. This is what happened with our cab driver. He just told him the whole story, but first the dude was not having it, and finally he was like, we're with a church group. This is what we're trying to do. We're not trying to do anything crooked, and they have people like that sneak in like all the time. And so, yeah, it was pretty chill. But that was fun. So
Did
that
the
was
cab driver stay there the whole time?
no.
You saw him leave.
Yeah, no,
Just
he was
like-
gone. He was just like, yeah, he was gone. He's gone. And then like our cab driver, as soon as the first cab driver we had, like that took us there, bro, he bailed as soon as he dropped us off. He like dipped. So, yeah, that was a fun experience. And then, or was it?
Dang.
I've actually got. I'll show you later. I have a picture of all of us on the ferry, though. It's pretty cool. I think I have it on my phone. Let me see. I'll try and find it while I'm telling this next story. I think. Oh, I know where it is. It's on my Google Drive. Anyway, while I'm looking for that, my third story. Excuse me. I've been held at gunpoint by the police. And you said you believe this one initially. Why? Do I look like the type of guy who's been held at gunpoint by the police?
Well, I was thinking of like Guat police.
No, this is American police.
Oh.
This is in the U.S.
Okay.
I
mean, I've been patted down roughly before.
I'm talking multiple officers, hands in the air style.
Okay. I didn't. I was thinking this was like a South America, Central America type situation.
No.
So I might need to rework my Hudenheisen.
All right. So let me take you back. The year now is 2003, 2004. So this is I'm a teenager.
A street youth, as
I'm
they
a
say.
street youth. I was with my uncle. We hung out a lot, and I was 13 or 14 at the time. We had spent the weekend together, and basically had been looking forward to going shooting. Um, he had a new rifle he wanted to try out, and so we went out
Gang, gang.
to this piece of property that he knew about. That he was like, oh, the guy who owns it said it was fine if I come out here. I've been coming out here for a long time, and
What kind of rifle was it?
I couldn't tell you, bro. I couldn't tell you. It was bolt action though. There was
Okay.
several weapons. Like we had a 357, we had a 38, snub nose. I want to say it was some bolt action rifle though, but I couldn't tell you what it was.
Mauser.
No, is the
That's an old one.
730 a thing? Is that a thing?
30-06.
No, it wasn't 30-6.
30-6 is bolt a lot of times.
Yeah, could have been. I don't know. There was several guns. It was me and my uncle, and then his brother-in-law, my aunt's brother, Robbie, and I think that was it. But we're out there and we start shooting. So that we brought like an old TV and we brought a bunch of other
Bang,
stuff,
bang,
and we
bullet,
just
bullet.
sat it out there and we're shooting for like
Shasta Colas.
yeah, we're shooting for hours, bro. Like just lots of fun. We're taking turns going through all the things. And we're just out back in the woods. Like we drove to this really sketchy spot across the railroad tracks down this long dirt path, and then we've been out there about an hour or so, and two squad cars pulled down.
Whoop, whoop.
Lights aren't on or anything. They just come down, and he's like, hey, like hand on his side. He's like, what are you guys doing out here? Do you have permission to be out there? And so my uncle's like, yeah, we do. We come out here. We've been coming out here to shoot for years since I was a boy, and like I know the guy who owns the land. It's cool. He's like, we're just getting some target practice in with my nephew and all this. Kind of walked him through the story, and the dudes were like, oh, cool. Well, do y'all mind if we shoot with you? And he was like, we come out here sometimes and shoot. He was like, we just a lot of times there's like people doing stuff they shouldn't be doing back here, and but they were cool about it. And so they pulled out. This was like before AR-15s were like a real like all over the place,
Yeah.
But they pulled out a very close to automatic weapon. I don't know.
What do you mean close?
Like, I mean, the thing was like, it was like, again, I'm not an expert on rifles or weapons, as you can probably tell by the way I'm describing this. But they pull out. I mean, in my memory, he said it was some sort of AK, but I feel like that's not legal. But regardless, there was two officers. They pull out a extremely rapid burst rifle and light up whatever were all of our targets, dude. Like they stay out there for more than a half hour with us, just like gunning it down. Like the TV's busted, like all this other stuff.
Well, that makes sense because law enforcement can have, once you have a special license, you can have full auto stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, I assume that it was full
It's
auto.
I think like a class 3 license.
Yeah. Well,
something like that.
Anyway,
Fun fact: you can legally own full auto stuff. You just gotta get the right paperwork.
Oh, okay.
Or be a cop, because you do that paperwork to be a cop.
Huh.
Yep.
Well, anyway, they shoot with us for like a half hour, 45 minutes, just lighting it up. I think my uncle got a chance to shoot it. Whatever. Anyway, they leave. They're like, "Well, this is fun, guys. Y'all be safe." They leave. So we get the guns back out.
Then they pull the masks off and start.
No. So then we start shooting again. Not 10 minutes later, dude. 4 squad cars with lights on come blaring down the trail.
They heard their guns.
Right. Blaring down the trail. And we've all got rifles in our hands. They come down, guns drawn, hands in the air, guns on the back of the truck. Like, freaking us out, dude. We didn't, like, I'm like 12 or I'm like 13 or 14. I'm freaking out. I was like, oh my God, my mom's going to kill me. This is terrible. And so, like, guns drawn, like, what's going on? Like, hands in the air. We all put our hands in the air, guns on the back of the truck. And
You were like, Robert was just here.
I was like, literally, two of your deputies were just here, like, shooting. That's the gun you heard. And they were like, that doesn't make sense. Da, 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 da. They didn't believe our story.
Freaking.
And then they were like, we've been getting a call. You've got 2 hunters that are down on the other end. Like, it dropped into like a ravine, and there were 2 guys on a boat down below, and they were hunting. And they heard all the gunshots from the automatic, and they thought someone was shooting at them because apparently they said they were hitting all above their heads and stuff, right? And so they were like, we were wondering if we should start shooting back, but they had called the police and were like, these guys are shooting at us. We're pinned down in the riverbed, like all this stuff.
God.
And so literally 4 freaking squad cars, guns drawn, 2 officers in each car. Like, it was terrible, terrifying experience. And anyway, one that I had not remembered until recently when I was trying to think of stuff for this.
So what ended up happening?
Well, I mean, we explained the situation, and they got back in their cars and left, and we left, and we didn't shoot anymore that day.
Did they like radio the guys or something?
No. I mean, I can't really remember. I just know, like, we were like, well, we'll go, but we've been coming out here for years. Your officers were just out here shooting with us. Like, we explained everything, but they weren't buying it. And then they were like, well, y'all just get out of here. And so we left. But
That's lame.
yeah, bro. Gotta love it.
Dang. Well, very, very interesting. I gotta contemplate.
Oh man.
This. I still think my guess is good. So we'll see after this commercial break. Today's podcast is brought to you and powered by 2 amazing local companies in Raleigh. Tell me a little bit about one of them, Matt.
Yeah, so Grateful Coffee Co. is a specialty coffee roaster in Raleigh. We source amazing coffees from all over the world, roast in small batches, deliver them directly to you, the consumer.
Yes!
So you always get the freshest coffee. We also partner with nonprofits in Guatemala, committed to doing good, investing in stories that actually matter. Your purchase can change the world. You can find out more online at grateful.coffee or on our socials at grateful.coffee.
Wow.
But today's episode is also brought to us by another amazing company. Stone, why don't you tell us about them?
That company is Oaknut Workshop. Oaknuts, also known as acorns. I don't know where I'm going with that, but Oaknut Workshop is my craftsmanship company. I make cool stuff. This is literally the best way I can say it. I basically have a problem where I like to do everything. So whether you want custom furniture made, or custom leather goods made, or custom blacksmithed, all sorts of stuff, check out everything that I have made at Oaknut Workshop on all social medias and things, or on my website at oaknutworkshop.com. You can find my email there. Hit me up if you have anything you want custom made, and we'll design the best thing to suit your needs.
I love it. Add out.
Add out. All right, so were those ads real?
Is anything real?
Were they true? Are those true ads? I guess the only way to find out if it's really true is to look them up.
Look them up. Order something.
But now we have to figure out
here comes
which
the tough
story
part,
is
man.
a lie. Who told the little white lie
Who?
that turned into the big bad rumor weed? I'm the rumor weed.
Oh, that's a VeggieTales throwback.
Larry Boy, baby.
Larry Boy, superhero.
Larry Boy.
He's our man. I don't know if that song goes.
Yeah, I had the Larry Boy video game for PlayStation 2.
Vegemite, Larry Boy.
Oh, man. Bruh.
Man. Bring him back. Not you, Netflix.
Larry Boy. Yeah, there's a Christian animation company that bought VeggieTales.
Really?
And I think they're getting some of the original.
Have you listened to
dudes.
The guy who created VeggieTales, is it Phil Vischer?
Phil Collins.
No, that was Tarzan.
Boom, boom. That's Phil Collins,
I
right?
can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh. Yeah, Phil Collins. Now this is Phil Vischer. He has a podcast,
Oh.
The Holy Post.
Oh, I think you told me about that.
Yeah,
The Holy Post.
The Holy Post.
That's like the Holy Ghost, but it's not.
But not. He said that when he was making VeggieTales, he had to promise his mom, because I guess she had a say in this, that you never see the vegetables getting saved in the show because veggies don't have souls. His mom made him promise, so he
Veggies
upheld
don't have
his
feelings.
yeah his end of the bargain.
Well,
So they teach us how to live the right way,
Yeah.
but they themselves cannot experience. It's kind of sad when you think about it.
Who is your favorite VeggieTales character?
That little gourd guy, the French gourd.
The French gourd?
Isn't he French? He's French.
You
I just
mean the
remember
one that
the-
sings Pizza Angel?
You are my cheeseburger, my tasty cheeseburger. I will wait for you.
He's not French. He's Latino.
Oh. Well, my memory. I haven't watched VeggieTales in a long time. Okay.
My sister didn't know that either. She was like, I don't
They
know
did
what
a
he was.
terrible Latino accent. Let me tell you.
I said I am extremely hungry.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's
Super racist.
He's so Latino.
What were you guys thinking?
Gourd.
Look, I haven't watched it in like
Hey.
a decade.
Inclusivity.
Yeah.
There's French peas
Before it was
and
cool.
Mexican
French
gourds.
You know, Wayne Brady was on an episode
I don't know
not
who
too
that
long
is.
ago. Wayne Brady? Whose line is it anyway? Now he has like a game show or something.
Oh, is he the black guy?
The black guy.
Oh, yeah, I love that dude.
Yeah, he was like he played one of Noah's sons on the last Noah's Ark VeggieTales thing they did.
Oh.
It's a pretty interesting story.
Yeah, the game show was Let's Make a Deal. Is that right?
No, that was Howie Mandel.
Oh yeah, that's right. I used to watch it when I was homeschooled.
I can't remember.
Oh
Remember what it
God,
was. He's a funny guy though.
yes.
Anyway,
It's not The Price is Right.
nope, that was Drew Carey and
Mm.
Bob Barker. It must not be that important because
Oh
we
my
can't
God.
remember Wayne Brady. Do better.
Well, all those
Do
game shows
better.
are so much alike.
All right, so it's time for us to guess which story is the lie. And if I remember correctly, your stories revolve around taking a dump on a cat's head,
Yes.
vomiting pizza, and nosebleeding at the same time,
Yeah.
and then getting a free one out of the deal.
Yeah, but it's mostly embarrassing.
And what was the first one?
I
again?
remember the way that dude looked at me.
Yeah.
Just like, what the frick is wrong with this kid?
This kid,
Yeah.
he should know better. He's only 7 or 8. Do better, kid.
Swallow your vomit.
And what was your first story?
Oh, the K as in crab.
K as in crab. I was thinking of Krusty Krab.
Questy Quab.
God, this is tough because I'm leaning towards the first or second now being the lie. But the third could be a lie too because you couldn't remember the cat's name. But you gave a lot of details in the second one.
I'm terrible with names.
You didn't touch the cat for a while afterwards.
Nope.
They made you a free pizza after you vomited. I've never known of a place to do that. But your dad's very charismatic, so it's not hard to believe.
Or maybe my dad just bought me
you
another one.
And, yeah. And
But I don't think that's the case. I'm pretty sure it was.
And then the Krusty Krab thing, I knew
Yes.
about your orthopedic appointment, but you never told me that part of the story, which leads me to believe that it's not true. But, oh, God, this is so hard.
I said I am extremely hungry.
Gosh, I should go with my gut, but I don't think I'm going to. God, it's one or two. It's the first or the second one. I know it is. It's got to be.
Pick.
Gosh. I feel like the Krusty Krab thing is definitely something that you would do. Man, but you've told me stories about that pizza place where Lone Rider is before, too.
Yeah, and it's still good pizza, I think. They still use the fire brick oven.
All right, number one's a lie.
Number one to lie, the Krusty Krab.
Yeah.
Story number one is true.
So it's number two.
Story number two is
Oh, man.
true.
Dang. I knew you didn't take a dump on that cat's head. You're
No, you
terrible.
didn't. You guessed number one.
Gosh. Oh, man. Well,
So fun fact, that's actually my dad's story.
okay.
That's the story of when he was a kid.
Interesting. Okay.
So
All right. Well, you got me, man.
yeah,
You pulled the wool over my eyes.
I won.
It's a
Okay.
terrible story, though.
About the cat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
He was like a oh god, I'm blanking
Are
so
you having a
hard.
stroke?
Yes. I had to factory reset. Cain.
His name was Cain?
No, but like Cain in the Bible where he got marked.
Oh, so the cat. So you're saying that Cain's mark was a pile of
Dookie
dung on his head?
Yeah.
Yikes. All right, man. Well, you got me.
So you didn't have coffee till you were 18.
Mm.
You got put in jail,
If you can
in
call it that.
Africa.
Yeah.
border jail. Borderline jail.
It's borderline.
And then you got held at gunpoint shooting guns with the buddies.
Yeehaw.
This is also difficult because you've traveled more than I have. But I'm not gonna fuss about it too hard because, you know, the odds are stacked against me here. You know.
Maybe,
So
maybe not.
I'm guessing number one is false.
Number one is true.
Rats.
Yeah, number one's true. I did not have coffee until I was 18. And it was Starbucks.
Dang.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was a life-changing moment for sure.
So then is one of the other
I also had a
stories-
football game the next day, and I totally cramped the heck up, like, after. Probably because of that. It was like 8 p.m. and I had a coffee, but I wasn't hydrated enough.
So is one of the other stories somebody else's story, or did you just completely fabricate it?
No. They're both my stories.
What? You did all truths?
No. One of them is slightly incorrect.
Slightly incorrect. Did you not have to cross a river, or did you never get put in the jail?
Is that the one you're thinking about? So you think the other one's 100% true?
Yeah, because that's a common day occurrence.
Cops pulling their guns on people?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
especially rednecks.
I would not classify myself as a redneck.
You sounded like you were in redneck circles that day.
I was surrounded by rednecks that
Exactly.
day.
There was
Yeah.
even rednecks getting shot at down in the ravine. Allegedly.
Apparently. By me. So you think the second one is the lie?
Yeah, there's
That's
something
what you're
funky
saying.
with that.
Number two is... Yeah, it's a lie. It's a lie. But there is truth in it. There is, all good lies have a little truth sprinkled in. I did go to Zambia in 2015 with my sister-in-law and a group of people that I did not know. We did rise up early in the morning and drive to the Botswanan port. We did pass 5 miles worth of 18-wheelers camped to go across on a single ferry. We did smuggle ourselves into the country by crossing
But you made it
the
through.
ferry, and we made it through.
Ah.
We did not get caught. We ended up going to our safari that day.
Dang.
Yeah.
See, that's what threw me off. You did a mostly true story.
It's not mostly true. That's a big factor. Yeah, I feel like if I'd have been in a Botswanan jail, I would have told you before now, probably, because that's a story I would
I
tell
don't
at
know.
all.
You never
the
told me
parties.
about the redneck story. That's pretty extreme.
Yeah, I thought about it last night, actually. I was like, oh, I got to come up with... My life's not interesting anymore. All these stories are years old.
Yeah,
But
I mean, mine are all from. Well, the Krusty Krab one was recent, but that's just because I've entered a new phase of special stoneisms. So,
I love it.
get
I love
yourself some Questy Quab.
Some Questy Quab.
Krusty Krab pizza
Well, that was
is
fun.
the best pizza.
Did you learn anything today?
I learned it's easy to smuggle yourself in Africa, and always get the name and badge number of a of a cop,
Of an officer. Yeah.
of an officer.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, it's cool if you shoot with us. Just can I have your name and badge number?
Let me take a picture of your... Yeah.
Let me take a picture of your face.
Right.
Let me take a picture of your.
This is
ear
before.
hole.
This is before like camera phones, though. This is pre
that's true.
iPhone.
You could do a sketch.
Pre iPhone. No, have you got your sketch pad with you, officer? I'll draw what they
He
look
looked
like.
like this.
Stick figure guy. with
Oscar
a-
the Grouch.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, and I learned that. Well,
I'm good at.
you're dyslexic. I
I don't know if that's a dyslexic thing.
I knew you were dyslexic, but
I honestly, that was just such a me moment, you know. It's a good one.
I knew about the nosebleeds too. I should have known that was true because I know you mentioned something about nosebleeds the other day.
Yeah, it takes a long time to get them stopped. Also, because I have low platelets, so my blood just keeps pouring out of my body. Doesn't
Interesting.
coagulate fast enough.
Interesting.
Yep.
Well, dude, this has been fun. We should do this again in the future
Yeah,
when
we'll do a part 2.
I have more interesting stories I can think of.
More
from my
stories that you
past.
can tell that are mostly true with a pinch of
Hey,
lie.
man, bro, it's still a lie. Still a lie.
It is indeed. That was my second guess.
See, I mean, technically, your third story was 100% true. It just wasn't you.
Yeah, so it's a lie.
Again, so was mine. Almost true. It was
Hey,
mine was 80% true.
Hey, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's clever. I was being
That's
clever.
I'm
We're both
sneaky.
being cheeky boys.
Yeah. What can I say? What can I say? Well, this has been fun, man. Make sure you guys listening out there, all of you, get yourself some Blanky Time this week. Do us a favor.
Oh, and this week the thumbnail art is being made by our very special friend, Eve, who we talked about in the Energy Food Bar episode. He was the one who came up with that topic, and now he's making us some art and a thumbnail for this
So
episode.
if you dig the art, go give him a shout out.
At brother art _1.
Brother, where art thou? _art.
I'm gonna get this. But yeah, thank you so much, Eve. I don't know what it looks like yet, but I know it's gonna be epic.
So epic. We're very grateful.
Brother1 _art.
I'm gonna start an art channel and call it "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?"
That would be good.
Yeah,
I don't want fob, dang it! I'm a Dapper Dan man.
I love it. It was a great movie.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
And you know what you can do with classic movies?
You can cuddle up on the couch, grab yourself a blankie,
Maybe a nice beverage.
milkshake.
Just have some good milkshake.
Milkshake is code.
Have some good blanky time.
Yeah.
All right, Matt.
All right, Stone.
Blanky out.
Blankie out.